Check, check. Victor Yankee Gulf Radio check. Looking 5x5. Now 26K. Good morning. Heads up. Camouflage paint, nose art, and emblems are 50% off this weekend for either silver. Oh, interesting. All right. Let's get our dailies. What do we want to go smacking with? Well, we were all Germans yesterday, so let's go over to Americans. Oof, is this one of those? It is. Premiums. So there is no path forward. Likewise. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Tech tree. I do want to keep moving things ahead a little bit. So the P40. Oh, I can already get that one, but I don't have the P12 anymore, so I can't get back into this stream. I do have the 47B, so I can go down here. Okay, but I can't even get going down here. I need to get a P12. I don't think I have a P12. I think I had a P12. I got rid of the P12 because hangar slots. Hasenpfeffer. Fine. Researched but not purchased. Purchase price, nothing. Of course. And I will need crew. And definitely training ring. And we definitely need a hangar slot. Fraggity daggity. Okay, back to the hangar. There. Emblems. Let's get us marked up here. You. And then nose art. For that era. That one will work. They're all +5 crew experience, I think. But just for 30 days. And universal. All right. Definitely want a fire extinguisher. And I like a gun sight. I'll just buy one. I will enhance it once. And we'll calibrate it. A couple times. There we go. Okie dokie. And since we might be here for a few minutes, I'll use one of those. And we'll use one of those. Now we battle. Let's do this. Woo! Tier 1. Oof. Ho, ho, ho. Well, we'll see if Woods is on here. Marky Mark. I mean, yeah, if you don't actually plan a time to meet in game, like, it's very unlikely you're just going to randomly run into each other. But it could happen. So, but I hope he joins back in and has some fun.
You're approaching the area of combat operations. Be ready.
There's myself, Maximus Dessner. On the other side, we got Robert Thompson, somebody, and player blah, 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 which could be theoretically, could be one of the devs.
Pilots, get ready for action. Let's go.
A 1-2 split, right? Yeah. Who are you shooting at? They're turning the other way. Except you. Yahoo! Okay. What are we at? 5. Well, let's leave the airfield. What?
Be advised, a line of thunderstorms is approaching. We'll soon be unable to provide support. Do you copy? Over. That's it. There's no way to break through to you now. You're on your own. Victory is in sight. Keep it up. The enemy is almost defeated. Make a final push. Great job today. We'll be waiting for you back home.
Good game. Good game. Marky Mark. Oh, you're back. I was wondering if you were out playing or whatever. It's kind of later in the day for me. I slept in a little bit. Yay. Well, hopefully you got in and enjoyed your experience yesterday, because it's all just fun. Oop. Just got back from lunch with the fam. Nice. Nice. Yeah, we're kind of broken up across the country a little bit right now. My spouse's parents passed away last year, so they're down at she's down at their house and helping clean things up. Oh, I'm glad you had a lot of fun. That's the point of games, right? I know when I first started, and I suppose every game has that. There's people who are like all hyper focused on having the best stats and the best kill ratios, and it's like, diving into that would make it less fun. Like, I don't know, just for me, I just want to boot around and play. Lost my dad and older brother. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, that's awful. Yeah, it's no fun. Yeah, her dad, he was in his 90s. He had been getting worse, and she was down for that. But her mom was totally unexpected. She was quite a bit younger than him, and we had been chatting with her last Christmas, and she was like, "Well, maybe I'll sell the house, get a smaller place, and maybe do some traveling. Take the money out of the house and but she's having some mobility issues too, so she was like, oh, I don't know if I want to pay for nursing and stuff. I'm like, this is your house and your resources. You use them to get what you need. Don't stop worrying about, oh, well, what'll I leave the kids? It's like, it's yours. Use it for what you need. And then a couple months later, she started coughing, was having troubles, went into emerge, and she had walking pneumonia. Like her body didn't respond with a fever or anything, and within hours she was gone. It was horrible, and it was sudden, and yeah, it really affected everyone. But that's another province away, so she's over there, and yeah, no, I just repurchased the Tier 1 American plane because I had a look at the tech tree, and there's a whole column of aircraft I can't progress because I got rid of the top aircraft, and I hadn't researched any of them, so I had to purchase it again. Oof. So that was my first fight with the new pilot, and now he's fully trained. So many planes. 68. Ah, nice. That's awesome. See, I didn't think I had that many planes, and then I switched back to the Euro server for I think there was a couple days where the server was down, and I'm like, I had 4 planes, and I couldn't really do anything. It was funny. Yeah, I've got a few. Well, I tend to, I don't know if you'd call it a hoarder. I tend to not spend the tokens and the gold and stuff unless something I really want. So, I mean, I've got pilots sitting in my crew bunks there for aircraft I don't have yet that I haven't researched. Anyway, let's get out of this. Oh, I can improve things a little bit. I don't need to research these? Oh, okay. Oh, I guess it's part of their thing to try and get new players to move up quickly. Ah, okay. That makes sense. I'll mount the improvements, absolutely. And I'll research that. Elite status. Okay, yep. With the first flight. Oof. Now that one I think I already have I haven't researched that one yet. Okay, good. That's probably the one I needed to research. I was shocked to see I still have the closed beta insignia to put on the planes. Nice. That's awesome. Absolutely, you use that. No, that one I've already got. You use that, because that's awesome. People be looking at it going, oh, what's that one? And be like, yeah, drool away, you can't get it. Awesome. That's great. I'd have done that. I think I recall when they first were coming out with the game, but I didn't really have my computer set up at that time. I was just on, what was it? On the 360 playing World of Tanks. And they announced that they were developing these World of Warships and World of Warplanes. And I thought, oh, this, if it's similar, that could be really fun. And, but I didn't, at that time I didn't have a PC. It wasn't until later I saved up some allowance, as it were, and hodgepodged my machine together. Yeah, the graphics card was the bigger expense. I got those just before, well, I guess maybe a year before COVID. I was running GTX 770s, and I thought, well, this guy had dual GPUs with the bridge and everything, and I thought, oh, this should be okay. And I got it in, and I had to, build my own wiring harness to power them and all that. And because it's a workstation, it won't allow you to link game cards. I would have had to got like Quadro quality, like engineering type cards in order to link them. So disappointed. Some planes with kill markers galore. Yep. Well, that's why you got to start him in his own account. And then you can fly together. And you can give him pointers. Perfect. Have a wingman. Yeah. It can be fun. I didn't think I was going to be that overpowered with a new pilot and a plane I hadn't had or anything, but yeah, that battle was a little bit, so you start to feel a little guilty because it's like, yeah, I'm SEAL clubbing. Do you remember the markings count reference by chance? No. Oh, they actually had it where they put put kill marks on the aircraft? Oh, that would have been awesome. Except you get guys playing for years who have hundreds. It's like your entire plane would just be covered in tally marks. That'd be hilarious. I suppose they'd have to, if they went back to using it, they could put it together and just have a mark and then a number beside it. Mine have them right now. Really? Okay, there's a couple there. Okay. I hadn't really looked close at it. I hadn't noticed it changing. Yeah. It's got a couple, so check out the other aircraft. Yeah, it's got a couple. I think they probably all have the same. Let's have a look. Yeah. Yeah, just aircraft, not bombers, not. Let's have a look at the bombers. Did they have mission markings? Okay, aircraft and mission markings. Just the same on each side. Yeah, it's one of those trade-offs where you have to decide, okay, well, what data do we want to have going back and forth between users and the database and the server, and what's absolutely necessary to keep the volume of data as low as possible to keep gameplay reasonable. Oh, that's kind of neat. Like, I think I might have seen them before, but I didn't see them changing. See, he doesn't have any. Now that could be because, oh no, those will be on the tail. Ah, there we go. What did the Russians do? I don't remember. Oh, there we go. By the cockpit. Now I gotta see the others. Yeah, it's like, what is this dummy doing? Doesn't he even look at his airplanes? There we go. Stars. And the British. There we go. Crosses and bombs for ground targets. Nice. And the Europeans. What sort of things? I think I've flown this one once. On the tail? No. On the side? Oh, no. That looks more like a transport plane. Let's look at this guy. I know I did this guy. Yeah, there he is. Side of the cockpit. Ha. Yeah, that's an ungainly looking little thing, isn't it? Hey, every day you should learn something. Beautiful. I hadn't noticed them changing though. Like, it shouldn't be too hard programming wise. They could have the symbol and then have a number beside it. Have it like a running tally. That could be interesting. I mean, some people would get all, ego about it, but I think that would be fun. And where was I? Right, because I was Germans all yesterday. And so today I thought, well, we'll fly some Americans around. So I purchased this guy and flew him once. Because then I was going to go down the other line. Yeah, now I should notice some change. Well, let's do this guy one more time and we'll see if it changes. I'm going to see that. Because he has no ground targets, so I'm pretty sure if I hit a ground target, then I should get the little bomb, even though, oh, I guess I could have mounted a bomb, but I don't know, maybe they changed colors. Oh, that's something they could have done too, is they could add them up and then for every 10, change color. And then every 100, change color. So if someone has like 3 red, 2 yellows, and 2 whites, then you'd know, oh, well, they have that many hundreds of aircraft they've shot down. I suppose you could also set it up so it only counts the aircraft. It doesn't count the air defense aircraft, but only counts the other player aircraft. German ones change color. The gold ones are a higher count. Leave it to the Germans to be different. Well, yes. But they were only following orders. Yeah, it's interesting when you look at history. It's like I never understood that defense. But it came out of the World War I, where they were so afraid the military could take over. The military was under strict orders. They could only do what the government ordered them to do. And so for them, as long as they only did what they were ordered to do, then someone else, as far as they were told, would have the responsibility of any of the moral questions. And of course at Nuremberg we were like, no, you were being sadistic bastards. And no, as individuals you are culpable for that. And I think that was a really good thing, and I think it's helped in the years since, but we're starting to get away from that again. Oh, stop shooting me. I'm only going to shoot you now. Come on. Oop. There we go. Come on. Yes, bullet sponges. Woo. Oh. I guess it's late for me to go for a ground target now. Okay. There, we each have an airfield. Let's go pound each other over the garrison. Whee! Do 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 do. Okay. Who's shooting at me? No, I missed my chance to get a ground target. Okay. Leave my team alone. Woo. Okay, let's go for a ground target. After an air target. Yes, you came back at me, didn't you? Should take a lot of bullets to do this. If I can even. I don't think I have a bomb. No, I don't. Oh, you. What? Ah, I wasn't careful enough. Shoot. No ground targets. Coming for me? Come on, come for me. Okay. No, no ground targets yet. I don't know if they would actually change during the game.
Victory is close.
Okay, I'll stop shooting guys down. Old and in the way 54. My guess is that's the year of his birth. No. Ah. Ground targets, right. Ignore aerial targets. Oh, come on. Ah. Fine, it's almost over.
Be advised.
Rammy Sammy.
A thunderstorm is approaching. We'll soon be unable to provide support. Do you copy? Over.
Good game.
Victory is ours. We're waiting for
Yay.
your return.
Okay. So no ground targets, so that won't change. All right. Whee! Let's see how we did. Should be over 8,000, so whatever I get for that. Oh, it's 1.25 experience points increase, so. Da, da, da. First and equals, that's the one. Improve supplies. 12 aerial targets, so, and I helped with one. How'd everybody else do? Old and in the way, you did fine. Burned Almendinger. Wonder if it's Bernard Almendinger. Unique last name. Alright. Enough. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see if we can get him a skill or two here. We'll go again. I think what I'll do is I'll keep pilots in the plane they're in until they get it to, especially if it's a new plane, until they get it to able to be specialized. And then they can go to the next one. And then the next new pilot who comes in gets a half-decent airplane to fly around. Not that that seemed to matter with this one. It was funny because it's like I just had to pay for the hangar slot because it cost nothing. Improvements cost nothing for researching. Yeah. Can't believe I had it and didn't research all the columns before I got rid of it. Obviously, I was a little focused on the Battle of Britain type aircraft and not flying the American ones around. Or the Russians. I really haven't done a huge amount with those. So we'll do one more here at least. Oh, yeah, no, I'll get him a skill. Then I'll move him to the next aircraft, and I'll just leave this one here. Because sometimes they have special events that require the other aircraft. No suitable opponents. Oh. I hope I didn't drive him away. It's not like the aircraft is maxed out.
Attention! You are entering the combat zone. Get ready for battle. Good luck.
Okay. Let's see. There is a 1-2 split. We have... looks like just 2 guys on the same side. Well, it's possible they cranked up the AI. So I guess we'll see. Go for an airfield? Does it matter?
Show me what you can do, pilots. Let's roll.
I like going for an airfield. Off the internet. Kill markers are automatically added to planes for earning kills and destroying ground targets. Every plane has a different kill marker for air kills and for destroying ground targets. Air and ground kill markers are added for achieving the following number. First marker, 1 kill. Okay, so that's why there's no ground markers on this guy. I haven't got any. So, and pulled up a little too late. Oof. That's funny. Oh, good. Those other guys were kicking butt more. Yahoo! I'll leave that airfield. Who are you? Ah, okay. You can go for the airfield. Go get yourself some base of some sort. Okay. Interesting. So let's have a look. They do increase during the battle. That's funny. Okay, because I had 2, now I have more. Oof. You're still on fire. Okay. Yeah, you're a bot. Got distracted. It'd be good if they increase the AI a bit, depending on the balance of the game. Held a message for reason, sex-based terms. Allow will post to chat. Yeah, no, that's fine. No. Catch up with you. Engine out. That's not good. There we go.
Receiving reports about rapidly deteriorating weather conditions. Support will be unable to reach you. Do you read me? Over.
Oof. I'll have to scroll down in the chat, but that means I lose the screen on the game. Oof. Oh, there we go. What really blew me last night was that the game remembered my mission progress from 10 years ago. Holy cow! I'll reword it so it doesn't get flagged. What really astonished me was that it remembered my mission progress from 10 years ago. Oh, it flagged the... Really? Then again, my username on a lot of different game things is Manus Brewer, and that was flagged in the game, and I couldn't pick that as a username. Because it's like, what? It's like, yeah, it's because, as you can imagine, they thought it was a sexual reference. It's like, no. It's not M-anus. It's Manus. Which, like, stop. Oop. Oh, that's it. There we go. Yes, which mine's Manos. It's like, really? That was my selected name when we were involved with the SCA. Manus Gillikreuz Mackenfleister. But I also did brewing and taught people how to brew, so Manus Brewer. I thought it was fun. But now it's like, oh, that has anus in it. It's like, what? Like oversensitive to the extreme. Like, stop it. Well, in the SCA, you try and take a time period you like, and then you do research and try and find names that were popular back then and in that time period and the area, depending on the sort of costuming and things you want to do. So there was a couple 100-year window in Scotland where you had French, English, just about everybody was there. So that was kind of the time period I went for. And I liked archery, so I was an archery instructor for a while. So it's like, well, Macca and Fleister is son of a Fletcher. So I thought, okay, well, that'll be good. And then Manus, which usually translates to Magnus, I think. Gillikreuz is I think that's how you pronounce it. It's hard to say because it's all like, all your research is out of books, so you don't get to hear pronunciation or anything. And yeah, so it was fun. That was a long time ago now. But yeah, still use it, still, you know, poke other people who played back in that day too. And he called me Woods jokingly a lot because he said I was so dense. Dense as the woods. Ah. Well, that's a good background too. It's like, yep, I'm dense. I'd always say, it's like, yeah, I'm pretty heavy, and I point at my head and go, yeah, it's all the rocks in there. All in fun, of course. Yeah. No, there was lots of good people and fun stuff in the SCA, and that was fun. You learn a lot about well, you learn some things that, like the idea that, oh, medieval times everything was so primitive. It's like they did jewelry work and armor work that we cannot duplicate today. And it's just like, what? What do you mean we can't duplicate it? It's like, yeah, we can't duplicate it. They don't know how they did it. They have enameled brooches, enameled in the round, so it has enamel on all sides, and there's no way to see where they sat it. There is silver inlaid in enamel on some pieces of armor. And you're just like, how did they do that? Because they look at the melting points and it's like, no, you can't do that. It's like, they did that. It's not a you can't. It's this was done. It's a fact. You can't figure it out. That's not on them. That's on you. So, and then all the history of brewing. Like, I must have researched mead for 10 years before I actually made any. Still have some that I made in 98. Got about a half-gallon that I haven't put in bottles yet down in the basement. I should probably package that up. It's well aged now. I'm always too slow to jump on things, though. Like, we moved here, 20 years ago, and I was thinking about, I should do a microbrewery, because I have all this knowledge about brewing and stuff, and I could probably do that. No, didn't. And then, of course, there was this big not explosion, but I guess you could call it an explosion of microbreweries that have all opened up, and they're all doing their thing now, but a lot of them, it happened in BC before we moved, like decades ago. All these microbreweries started up, and then most of them failed. Because the modern business models is that you, of course, borrow money to start your business. Well, that means you have a constant fire hose sucking resources out of your business. And everyone's always like, well, yes, but your business model shows that you have enough flow through and capital, and then it just works, and then you can get bigger. Well, the ones that were relatively successful got bought out by large breweries. Yeah, there's been a huge leap, but the successful ones, like there was Okanagan Springs, you might have heard of them. I think they ship everywhere now. They were bought out by a huge brewery in Canada called Sleeman's. And I think Sleeman's also bought out Granville Island Brewery. They were a microbrewery that was very popular and managed to stick around for a long time. But up here we have Sleeman's and Labatt's and Molson's. I'm not sure how many of those are actually connected to American breweries now because of all the conglomeration of the mega corporations, which was just a bad thing all around for everybody, well, except the owners. So, but in some ways the larger breweries kind of were asking for it. But they put out, they do market research and they put out stuff that all tastes the same, or very, very tiny variations, because it's like, our market research shows. It's like, you know what? Even people like slightly different things. Stop doing variations on themes. You're using rice like crazy. It's just cheap. Stop it. Pull up in time this time. There's a better target. Yeah, it'd be fun. I remember when I was doing my apprenticeship training for electrical, I did a tour of a microbrewery in the city where the training school was. I was chatting with the chief brewer. The head brewer was given the tour through, and it was a microbrewery. So he's talking about the different styles and the different things the company had. The brewer himself was actually the guy who was one of the originals from Okanagan Springs. He was unemployed after Sleeman's bought him out because, of course, they brought in their own brewer. And so we're talking about different technical things with brewing, and he turns to me and he's like, well, where did you take your training? I took mine and he mentioned some school in Germany. And I'm like, I didn't. I just studied on my own. He's like, what? Oh. And then that's when I first started thinking. I was like, oh, well, maybe I could make a thing of that. But I haven't. Because I don't really drink much. I just enjoy making it. It was fun and it was a challenge, and after learning a lot of the history of it, it's like, that's amazing. Yeah, no, I did all the studying on mead because medieval society, everyone was all, oh, mead. It's like, well, what is it exactly? At the time, couldn't find any commercial made mead. I did find some that the BC Liquor Board had brought in from Ontario. So that'd be like you finding something brought in from Colorado or California. And it was interesting, but I did, there was just all the research. Found a book by a British guy written in the 30s where he had done historical research, and it was just fascinating. Then I made some wine from grapes that my mother-in-law gave me because they had, where they live in BC, it's mild enough that you can grow grapes there. They weren't actually wine grapes, they were just Concord grapes, so basic table grape variety, but she gave me a 5-gallon pail of them when her first daughter was born. And so I made wine out of them.
I'm proud of you, pilots.
And I still have it in the 3 1-gallon jugs or 2 1-gallon jugs in the basement. I really should bottle it. 5 or 6 years into it, yeah, I was involved with a winemaking club. Oh yeah, how to attack the low bombers. Yeah, you got to keep your speed up. And okay, let's see if we got enough to get him his skill point. I mean, I had 1 skill point, but let's see if I got a second one. I like the second tier skills. Now, at first I was always buying the snap to target. No, I don't use that much. That's a thing. See, I never bothered researching it. I just fly around and shoot, as it were. Oh, that's funny. Snap to target. So what, it automatically drags you around to it? Or just keeps your view on it? trying to remember what game I was playing that had that, where it would keep your view and twist your view around to follow the target. I found that so annoying. It's like, no, I want to look where I'm looking. Yeah, it keeps the camera on the target. Yeah, no, I keep track of them in my head. I find that easier. You live in that view. Oh, neat. Yeah, because I've noticed it'll switch targets depending who's closest to you and things like that. And having my view automatically swing around would just, I think, drive me bonkers. Yes, we have 2. Okay. Now, which skill do we want? I like aerobatics, because maneuverability, I think, well, aerobatics and marksman. Usually I'm between those two. So I'm going to go aerobatics. It's on a button though. Hold to use. Okay. Yeah, kind of like, reverse view with Q and all that. Or I suppose I could try my joystick again in this, but now that would be relearning it because now I'm used to the mouse and keyboard. Use it mainly when attacking ground pounder if I have a tail on me. Yeah, I can totally understand that. Oh, that just reminded me because I remember when I was gliding the one day, after, because we use tow planes up here, not winch because of the mountains. We got up, flying in tow, and I thought, well, let me just switch hands on the stick because I'm left-handed, and of course everything's set up for right. It's like, well, let me try flying left-handed. Oh my stars, I couldn't do it. Mouse and keyboard, shame on you. Yeah, I know. But I switched hands and I can't fly left-handed, not stick. Just, it's like, nope. It surprised me. So, yeah, all right. Let's get our second string started. I've got enough certificates. I'll buy another hanger slot. And now I can get an F2F. Muscle memory wasn't all that. Yeah, no, it wasn't. No, I don't need a crew. I'm going to move my pilot over. I will need a slot in the hangar. Purchase. Ta-da! Okay. Let's get us our pilot from our Tier 1. From our P12. Where is he? There he is. Master Sergeant Casemore. There you go. Have a new airplane. Oh yeah, we need to earn some things. Let's get you painted up. I like that one for the side. I'm not sure why. I think that was the first sort of special one that I earned. And it's like 8. And all I could think of was 8-bit. And it's like, yeah, that's in keeping with my chronological zone. Okay. Apply. And he had the skull motif, so I will keep that. And then we'll just go with that's just the universal, right? Paint scheme. Yeah. Apply that puppy. Ta-da! Now I have a 75% pilot. Don't have any of those. You have emblems. And gamble mine are all outdated. Yeah, yours will all be unique and special. People will be looking at them going, where did you earn that? Maybe someone will start a rumor that it's like, oh yeah, that's for downing 100,000 enemy airplanes. That's where you get that one. It's a special one. That'd be awesome. I'm glad they kept them. That's good. Santa one's 3-year anniversary. Yeah, I think the 8 is the 8-year anniversary one. So yeah, absolutely use those. That's awesome. Just to be unique. I imagine they thought about developing a system where people could do custom paint jobs and stuff, but again, that requires a lot of data transfer then through the server, and that would affect gameplay. Especially if you got 20 people, all with custom paint jobs. And now the details of that have to bounce between the two. Probably also increase memory requirements.
You are approaching the area of combat operations. Be ready.
2-3 split. Looks like someone just mashed their keyboard to give themselves a name. Speedy Newt. That's nice. That's a good name. Alright. A Santa one. That'd be fun. Big old Saint Nick on the side of your plane.
Pilots, get ready for action. Let's go.
Let's get some aircraft experience so we can get some better guns and stuff. Whee! Oh, let's have a look. No tally marks. Oh, we need better guns. Every 18th round hits. What? Oh, right. Oh, no tally mark. Okay, maybe it doesn't change in the game. Rhino themed. Nice. Do they still have the skins for sale that were animal themed? I don't know. I haven't checked. I generally don't go and buy them. Panther skin. Piranha. Nice. Those would be neat. I'll have to go check. I don't go into the store very much. I have a few times because
Stay alert, pilots. Large enemy force spotted over the airfield.
oh, come on. I had to exceed his maximum gross weight by adding lead. That's crazy. Come on. Come on. Drop already. Oof. Now I gotta let my guns cool down. Beautiful chrome and black skin for 0. Oh, that sounds nice. I'll have to go research that. Yay. No, no telling, Mark. Okay. Well then, my guess is, oh, we have repair. Wow. They often don't put repair on these. Do I have a Discord channel? I am on Discord, but I don't really use it much except to communicate with my kids. So, I'm not sure exactly how all of that ties together. Like I said, as soon as I click off of this, off the game, the window closes. So, who's shooting at me? I was asking because I could post some pics to easily see. All good though. Woohoo! Okay.
Be advised, a line of thunderstorms is approaching. Will soon be unable to provide support. Do you copy? Over.
Oof. Well, if you're gonna shoot me down quick. Ah. Where am I at? Oh yeah.
That's it. There's no way to break through.
Okay, don't shoot me down now.
On your own.
Oof.
Victory is in sight. Keep it up.
Yay, got out of range. Ah, down. It is. Same for you. Oh yeah, it might be good. It's a small server for your followers. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could do that. I've tried setting up a couple. They sort of work. I don't even think I have it running right now. Oop. And now I don't have a cursor yet, so now I can't come off the screen. That's okay. Just made some progress in a couple of games, explored some new mod packs, Minecraft. Mods are complicated stuff. Mods, yeah, oh yeah. Modding could be fun though. Like I looked at Fallout and I had some ideas for some Fallout 4 mods that could be a lot of fun, but yeah, my kids just started a new world in Minecraft. They're making a boat racetrack. Nice! Read then work some more on my vanilla Minecraft Backrooms world.
I'm proud
Sweet!
of you, pilots. Head back home.
What's your reading? Nice. Racing on ice is tricky. Ta-da! I think we did okay. Oh, let's get our good games happening. I think it's funny that they have in this game they've got the bots who trash talk. I guess to try and encourage people to do things in the chat, but it's like, guys, no, have them pop up with things not like hacks and I'm coming for you next and stuff. Have it for things like good shot. Yeah, the bot talk is always hilarious. Or have more of the conversations where they're, the robot, the rules of robotics have been suspended. Have the odd time where they chat at each other with just ones and zeros. I think that'd be great. What? Oh, I didn't read. Right. He's at 75% and it won't improve until I retrain for the aircraft. Oh, I'm such a dummy. Such a dummy. Yeah. Retrain. Smack talk really loses its impact when you can tell it's just bots. Yeah. Yeah, it can. And I actually had one guy swearing at me saying, "Oh, I'm coming for you. What are you doing, you piece of shit?" Stuff. And I thought, you're not actually talking to me, are you? And it was interesting because it was like, okay, well, I know there's people out there like that. Whatever. And afterwards, he messaged me and he was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm not usually like that. It's been tough." And I'm like, "It's okay, man. You're coming here to relax and stuff, and that's okay. Thanks for saying something." So it was good. They could have at least gave them country-themed wordings. Yeah, like jolly good shot, my boy. Yeah, exactly. Germans, yeah, they could have just yelled things like from the comic books, Gott Himmel, Schweinhund. Yeah, that would have been awesome. Well, Schmetterling. Yeah, that'd be like, they could really have fun with it. I guess they try and not to offend anybody, but well, at least the aircraft earned experience. I could have just mounted those to start with. Ah. Yeah, I don't need these details. Okay. Come on, take it. There we go. How much to research that one? 1,500, and I have enough. Good research. Do I want to purchase it quite yet? Let's have a look at the tech tree. Oh, I was in the tech tree, dummy. Okay, so yeah, getting up to the Wildcat and the Corsairs. That'd be fun. You just now doing the American fighter line? Yeah, I went and sold off the P-12, and so I got up to here on the other ones, but I had totally missed researching this line. The medium fighters, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to have the P-40 and get into the P-51s, but and the P-47s, and of course the B-17, stuff like that. But yeah, the multi-role. So there, I've researched that one. I think I want to switch tiers though, because yeah, I can stick with Americans though for sure. Let's go with something we can actually progress the line with. 47, yeah. Okay. Oh, wait, I didn't check because the battle ended. Do we have tally marks now? Oh, there they are. They weren't beside the cockpit, they're up on the nose. So they might have shown up in the battle. In that line, I remember not being impressed with the Corsair in the game. Yeah, that's possible. It's like I thought the 262 was going to be amazing, and it was like, no, it's very much a smash and dash. It doesn't really have the maneuverability. I mean, it's true that it was less maneuverable than a lot of the piston fighters, and 50-hour lifespan on the engines isn't the greatest either. But I suppose that was the same time frame on the fighters too. 190 is the favorite plane. So sad it wasn't a performer. Yeah, well, it takes some tweaking and research, really. Like, we do have a lot of tools now, but again, like simulation tools, so you can put in the aircraft specifications and get a relatively good idea of flight performance. But again, that takes time and research, and most of these companies, the model for game development is, you hire great people, you pay them, but you work them until they're basically almost suicidal, and then you fire them. And that's unfortunate, because I think a lot of people get involved in game development, and especially flying games, because they really like the history and the airplanes and the idea. And yeah, you could have them make some amazing things. I mean, England, they unionized. And I know there's been a push in North America to do that too. And you look at, operators like Bethesda who have been working on, sequels now for years. And, well, why are they having troubles releasing it? It's like, well, because they burn so many people. The people are like, yeah, if I really, really needed the money, I would come work for you, but I know how you treat your employees, and I'm done. I will take a lower wage and just be over here and do my thing. Yeah, I've been buying too much equipment at the scrapyard. I've got a Minecraft server literally set up downstairs, but I haven't had it running in a while. I'm running CentOS, like a Linux server, and I got it up and running, and we actually played on it a little bit. I haven't figured out how to open it up to the broader internet, which probably is a good thing. But it meets the minimum requirements, which is crazy because the minimum requirements are actually pretty steep for such a simple game. Like 3.2 gigahertz minimum CPU speed to run Minecraft. I was shocked. It's like, what? I can run way more complicated games running, because my workstation's only at 3. And I can run Minecraft. It seems to run okay, but for a server, they want minimum 3.2. So I've got a Dell server down there that I had it running on. And I do have a faster one. No, not a faster one. I have one that's capable of being faster. I'd have to get CPUs for it in the stack of them in the garage. Yeah, like I said, I collected way too many of them. I think I got like a dozen servers. An anarchy server. Yeah, no, I don't need that, and I'm sure my ISP would not appreciate that. No, it was just something fun. We ran around in it for a while. I've built a few things. I was trying to build a storyline for the world. You know, built ruins in different places, and then open it up to kids and friends and say, hey, thing is, they're all having a whack of fun on online servers with mod packs, and that's another level of server development, and I'm just not there because, well, I mean, I have a full-time job already. So, but yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to learn more Linux and yeah, have fun. I don't know, I like the building and stuff I've been doing on the server. I haven't been doing it in creative mode. I've just been in in game mode, so it's fun. People show up to have fun wrecking stuff. Yeah, that's not anarchy. No, that's just destruction. That's no good. Which is fine if that's what everyone agrees to, but pretty soon, yeah, you have a world that all it is bedrock, and you're like, well, this isn't any fun. It's like, you're right, it isn't. Now, just like the computer in war games, make the connection. Stop behaving that way in real life. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I've done that. I've opened worlds and gone in and just seen how many explosives I could put next to each other and watched as the thing dropped to a crawl, because that was on the Xbox, and just laugh. But yeah, when you have a world where people are running around and having fun, building things, building machines, building, houses and giant cat heads and stuff like that, just to have someone run through and blow everything up. Ah, tourist attractions due to the volume of destruction. Well, that's true, because now there's almost no limit to the world size. So it's like, okay, if I go far enough from the start point, I'll find something untouched. Maybe. I mean, yeah, I guess we do have a curiosity about things that have been smashed and blown up. I mean, NASCAR, uh, even aviation racing. There's some morbid fascination with, ooh, this, there was an accident. But most of the people involved are like, yeah, that's nothing we want. It's nothing we're into. And a lot of places now are shutting down the air races. And that's the reason for everyone in the anarchy server to agree to the carnage. Yeah, yeah, that's controlled carnage. That's good. That's like, yeah, no, you have to have it as fun. Everyone's got to be having fun. Like, and agreeing to it ahead of time, that's the best. But yeah, the fact that a lot of games now have, basically will give you the tools to modify and create your own content and stuff. I think that's awesome. Like my thought for an add-on module for Fallout
You are
4,
approaching the area of
there was a
combat
fellow I worked with.
operations. Be ready.
who had been, well, he wasn't really nervous. Most of his grandfather and his father and most of his uncles and stuff all passed away at a fairly young age from heart attacks. So he was pretty nervous because he was only in his 30s, and we got to be friends building the hospital here. And yeah, a couple years after we had finished the hospital, yeah, he passed away.
Pilots,
It was awful. So I thought, well, maybe I could make a module and use his name on one of the characters in one of the NPCs in the module. Because one of the things is, even when you fix up houses and things in the game, it still looks all messed up. So I thought, well, they do have the graphic for brand new houses and things. So if you made a mod pack where you could hire these builders to come around, because he was an electrician as well, you could hire them, and if you got them the resources, they would fix up the housings in different areas to like new. I thought that would be pretty cool. And I was going to make him a ghoul, so that, he never dies, kind of. And I thought it'd be a neat little add-on mod pack that could be done. And then you could send him to different areas, and he'd fix the place up if you wanted, and then it would all be like new. And of course, he would was like, yeah, no, I'd be really nervous to open anything up to the broader net without some safeguards in place. It's sort of a side interest that I just, goof with all this hardware that I could never have afforded. Like, there's no, like, a server? Like, what? Those are thousands of dollars. Even the workstation I'm working on. Yeah, on the day when it came out, the CPUs were $1,000 a piece. And now I have 2 CPUs and the whole setup. Like, and I can goof with it. And if I screw something up and burn out something, I can probably find a replacement for $10. It's an awesome way to learn. Oof. Oof. Yeah. I'm not sure if you have any electronic recycling places near you there, but it's fun. Kind of. You get to play with hardware that you never could have afforded, and see what you can make it do. And there's actually quite a movement for reusing hardware. Which is nice to see. Like I said, Green PC Gamers, they list a whole bunch of business type workstations, and where they actually test it out and throw in graphics cards and sort of go, okay, does this make a decent gaming PC? going to spend tech enough to make an attempt. Well, exactly. I didn't really. I mean, my knowledge base is from university back in the 80s and from high school as well. 8-bit processors. So all the stuff it's all like new, basically, to me. But if you think of them as black boxes, and if the interface is the same, then it'll talk to the other box. Come on, get him. There. That's kind of been my approach to it. Like I said, I've got equipment I could never have afforded. And I guess my philosophy, which has caused my garage to be full, is, well, it costs as much as a cup of coffee, so am I willing to spend a cup of coffee to play with it for a bit? Because if I burn it up, it was a cup of coffee. Oof. That was quick. Okay. I never put a gun sight on this guy. That's why. Why is it so hard to hit people? With much other stuff. Tinker plate pull. Very, very true. I just don't know when to quit. My tinker plate has been overfilled for way too long. I got brewing, I got blacksmithing, I've got computers and servers and software. Many things. What else? The odd cooking. I don't really do costuming anymore, which is good. Oof. Good game. Blasting away is. And now maybe my pilot can get some skills. No, don't go head to head with him. Woo-hoo. They'll just ram me. Oof. Sounds like you fooled all those 1-to-1. You could be making next.
Victory is ours. We're waiting for your return.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You should be able to play with this technology too. It's not little black boxes. I mean, it's not magic. But with the way the large corporations, well, especially Microsoft, I keep getting the things popping up. Oh, you should switch to Windows 11, and right under it, in the same block, it's like, oh, your machine cannot load Windows 11. It's like, no, it can't. I don't have the trusted platform module. But as other guys I follow, they're not, like, I don't think anyone's happy with Microsoft because well, because they could, if they wished, push an update that basically bricks everybody's computers. Like, they could. Now, would they do it? It's like, well, the sad thing is, they might if they felt that the cost of the payout would be more than offset by the extra revenue caused by everyone having to buy new hardware. And it's like, I mean, I've seen some PC repair guys who basically have posted the, you know, they're working on people's laptops and they're like, yeah, a Windows update bricked it. And they literally had to go in and reflash the BIOS using an external clip that individually powered up the chip so that they could read it, check it, and replace the BIOS. Yes, I've seen the how I broke up with Adobe. Yeah, and I've talked to a few people actually, even locally, who are like, yeah, I'm trying to switch to Linux. It's hard because so many of the games and so much of the software is designed to be run through Windows. But as more and more people switch to the open source, and because it's such a community and they're able to share so much, you know, it very conceivably could outpace and outdo Windows. It's definitely within the realm of possibility. Now, it isn't there right now. And the challenge with Linux is it is so open. You need to know and understand what you want your machine to do in order to set it up to do the thing you need it to do. Whereas Windows has had years now of development with people who are right in there, but they have developed it so it can do anything almost out of the box, which means it has to be programmed to do anything. And so it's huge. Like, it is absolutely incredibly immense. Like, I still have my old Apple discs where not only did you have the OS on a floppy, you had room for pretty much all the data. An emulator to be run on Linux. Yet, you know what? Somebody could. Here's the challenge. The Windows interface is, of course, proprietary. So all of the memory register locations, all that kind of stuff, that's a closely guarded secret. Because if you knew that, you absolutely could do that, could build one. But they don't want that. They want you to partner with them. And when you've agreed to partner with them, now they give you the data you need for the different interfaces, for the parts of Windows you need, just the ones you need, for your development. I mean, right from the get-go, Gates wanted, and it's totally understandable from a business standpoint, it's like, well, if you buy my software, then that's great. And if you download my software, well, you should pay me the same amount. It's like, but you built it once. Now you want to sell it for $200 a copy, or whatever the opening one was, but you don't have to build it again. Oh, we're back to being mad at capitalism. Well, no, it's not being mad at it. It's understanding. Like, a lot of things we get mad at, it's like, well, let's understand the thinking behind it. You know, he was just a business guy who wanted to make as much as he could. And it's like, well, if I could build something once and simply sell copies that cost me nothing, it's like, and I could make money off that, well, why wouldn't I do that? It's like, you're not wrong. We would all love that. I'd love it if I could. I mean, in some ways, people think that authorship is like that, right? You write a book, I can sell a soft copy. I really don't have to do anything other than, copy a file, but I've sold a copy of my book. So the overhead's really low. The problem is, the skill set required to write a book that people are actually willing to read is fairly steep. I didn't put a gun sight on. There I go. Yakking away. Not keeping my mind on the job. Somebody's got me in their sight. No, don't go down. Go up. Woohoo. I don't want to pick on people. Diving at me from above. Guess that worked for you. Where are you on the edge of my vision? You're a bomber. I'm gonna ignore you. My pilot's almost fully trained now. I suspect by the end of this fight, he will be at 100%. System rigged to prioritize profit over prosperity. Well, let's be fair. The system is rigged so that you can. It doesn't mean you have to. There are companies that are paying above, quote, industry standards to their workers, and giving them benefits that they have no reason to except that they want to, which is awesome. They're looking at it going, no, I want to be a reasonable human being. Yeah, I could make more profit, but I don't need to.
Stay alert, pilots. Large enemy force spotted over the airfield.
And that's awesome. I think the problem comes in when we finance everything, and now, even if I'm running the company, I'm not running the company. The board of directors from the investors turns around and says, no, I want you to lower wages and stuff because we need our profit or we're pulling our money out. So, if you could set up a business, like almost any business, under the original system that the founding fathers in the US had in mind, your corporation would be made up of not employees. They wouldn't be employed. Every single person in the company is an investor. They are the only investors that are allowed. And corporations were strictly controlled. Problem is, the system doesn't reward being a decent human being. No, it doesn't. Now, their feeling was that social pressures would be brought to bear on people who were being snotty, and that would stop them. But, of course, we now have a better understanding of human psychology and of things like, human mental illnesses, like who don't care about that sort of thing. But at the start, the US system recognized that they looked at the giant corporations like the East India Trading Company and the Hudson's Bay Company that were being around for over a lifetime, and that they could accumulate wealth that could not be fought against. So they were like, no, we're fixing that. You can have a corporation, but these are the rules. This is the lifespan it's got. And after this many years, it must be liquidated. And I believe the what is wrong with us? I believe it was like less than 6 years before they changed the rules.
Receiving reports about rapidly deteriorating weather conditions. Support will be unable to reach you. Do you read me? Over.
Oh, that didn't take him out. That's the only other thing about the game. When you collide with another aircraft, they should make it game over. Or set it so that
The enemy is about to win.
it
Push
is
harder.
far more realistic, because that's the trouble with it.
We cannot support you any longer. The storm is too heavy.
You collide with another aircraft, you're generally not coming back. It doesn't matter if you're in a new modern airplane, so when a biplane hits you, you're done. Period. Because you have guys who are being rammy-sammies. But you're coming for me, good. Oof. Game over! Yeah. Collision should be game over. Or, I mean, there were cases where aircraft did collide, and they didn't get knocked down. But it was rare. So they should be able to include that in the game dynamic fairly easily. I mean, it would require a little bit of calculation. You'd have to determine where the aircraft collided with each other, because I think the Japanese, even near the end of the Second World War, had aircraft with reinforced wings that they reinforced incredibly, and the idea was that they would try and cut through the wings of the bombers. Yeah, I think the Germans did too by the end. They were all getting horribly desperate. There's one YouTuber who did a review of things, and he was pushing back against all these people who are out there going, oh, the German equipment was peak, it was awesome. And he was like, no, look at the history of when it was actually taking place. A lot of these were just like, they were desperate. They were throwing stuff at the wall to see what would work. Yeah, they tried to survive. Yeah, the Japanese did have the kamikazes going after bombers, but I believe they also did try building something to do collisions and survive. So yeah, but some of the German equipment, it was like, you hear the reviews and everyone's like, oh, it was so great, and this guy, went back through the documentation and ran through it. Yeah, seppuku, honorable suicide. Honor is very important culturally to them. I mean, in some ways, there have been good things that have come out of that, and not so good things. I mean, you are very safe walking around in Japan just about everywhere at any time of day. You don't do dishonorable things. You don't, like, right down to you're a store. You're a store owner. You don't put outdated meat on the shelf. Like, Germans got to actually practice tactics on how to ram and where to ram with most success. It was key to survive. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, First World War, you had aircraft being used as spotting for artillery, and then they started shooting at each other with pistols. So they're like, well, maybe we should fit guns to this. And, sometimes it was like, yeah, you'd get pilots who would, ram other airplanes, thinking, well, if I hit him here, I should be able to survive and take him out. But I mean, you think of it, First World War, they were dropping bombs literally by picking them up from beside them and reaching over the side and dropping them. Like, it's like, you've got live bombs rolling around under your feet. Like, what are you doing? I think they might have had holders along the side for them, but still. I suppose that was why they had the arming pins. That would make sense. Pull them out, pull the pin, drop. Good grief. World War I was absolutely analog. And then World War II was a lot of analog too, but we developed radar, we did some interesting things. Okay, can we buy the next one? Oh, I already researched it. Never mind. So, yeah, World War I was very analog. Well, all this stuff was new. And what I find amazing with it too is, like, when I was really little, I got to meet my great-grandfather. He passed away in 1973, I think, at 96. But he was born in the 1880s. He literally lived through a period of everything horse-powered by horses. I guess you had steam as well. But, everyday people just out on the farms, and he was in New Brunswick, so yeah, there was a train. He'd see that. But then automobiles were developed. Aircraft were developed. And then, by the time I was there, he would talk in amazement because men had landed on the moon. Like, that happened shortly after I was born, which lets you know how old I am. But yeah, in his lifespan, that was the change in technology he saw, which in human history, well, in recorded human history, is unprecedented, like the change. And of course, myself and everyone around us, we were all born into this level. So we think of it as, well, that's just normal. But compared to the rest of human history, we are in such an abnormal time period. Like, up until then, well, you worked, you grew food because that's what you need to eat and live, and then other things, developments in farming improved, so you actually had time to do other things as opposed to just survive. And yeah, up to people on the moon, which, we're trying to get back there. But now we're looking at it going, well, why do we want to go back to the moon? It's a gravity well. We have to just get out of it. And not only is it a gravity well, it's got this super electrical charge on it that causes equipment to just, like, you got to be really specialized to actually survive there. The lunar dust, it's not just like dust in your house. Because of the electrical charge, it's held in suspension above the moon. The moon doesn't really have an atmosphere, but there is the regolith is suspended in space thanks to the charge. and it gets into and on everything because of the electrical charge. And it's not like dust and sand on Earth where it's kind of rounded and stuff. It's all sharp, like tiny, sharp little things. So, I mean, yeah, it's been crazy, and we're doing things, and then we're finding out years later that okay, this wasn't a great idea. Like, I know when I was teaching at SAIT GAG 20 years ago, they would bring in people to talk about developments in technology for instruction and things like that. So things like iPads in the classrooms and computers for every student and all that. And oh, this is amazing, and look at the learning that's going to happen. So it's like, okay, well, I want to do some of my own research too. So I start looking out there, and there were psychological papers on it that were trying to raise alarms. I don't know if they've, it doesn't appear they've gained much ground, but they had some grave concerns because they were finding the kids who were like exposed for huge periods of time at a very early age. They couldn't think. It affected the way they thought about things. Not as in, oh, they're brainwashed, but it wasn't that direct. It was more like, because a lot of the world they grew up in involved dealing with software, computers are very, on off. At their heart, yeah, they're all ones and zeros. But the problem solving you get and the skills that you get by dealing with the random analog world around you are different than the ones you learn through a computer. And they were finding alarmingly that when faced with real world random problems, a lot of the kids had no tools to cope with it. They couldn't think outside the box because they had never seen anything but the box. We are very adaptable. Yes. And that, I think, is what they were trying to point out, is we are so adaptable. Things that aren't good that we get pushed into, we will adapt to them. And of course, as a child, whatever that is that you're surrounded by when you're growing up, that becomes the normal, even if it's absolutely not normal for the whole of society, because this is where we got our start. We just think, oh, that's normal. And then you find out later, well, a lot of us find out later through counseling and things, it's like, oh, that isn't normal. Like, it's not normal for, your parents to tie you into bed so that they can have a rest or a break from you. Like, that's not normal. And it sounds messed up, but, as a kid, if you grow up in that becomes normal. And it's not till later when you think about it and have the mental capacity to challenge it that you start to go, oh, well, what other things did I think of that are as normal aren't? Like, oh, like I know, of course, as a kid, you grow up in a family and you have all the attitudes and stuff that everyone around you has, and that's normal, right? Yeah, neat rocks are good, like, and collecting bugs and checking out different types of leaves, and having pets helps, I think. There is a place, I think, for technology and learning computers and all that. Absolutely, I love it. Like, I couldn't get enough of it as a kid, because they were just starting to get into people's houses and things, and game systems like the old Intellivision. That's what we had. It was sort of a war at the time, not between Microsoft and Apple, but it was between Intellivision and Atari. So yeah, normal is kind of just what's around you. So, but yeah, I was always fascinated by all this computer stuff, and of course, being from the, what's it called, economic strata that I grew up in, that wasn't something I was going to be playing with ever. Same with getting a pilot's license. That wasn't something that we were going to have, unless I went through cadets. And I saw that Air Cadet information booth when I was 9 years old, and then that was my focus till I was old enough to join. So that was another 4 or 5 years. 4 years? Yeah, you have to be 13 or turning 13 by Christmas. So I had the little leaflet and I would read it, not every day, but I'd look at it and it's like, yeah, I'm going to do that. I want to learn to fly. Well, my mom had her pilot's license already, and I was like, yeah, I want to do this. So I did, and that was good. But yeah, I actually brought the article with the cautions about the basically electronic classroom back to the guys, back to the guy instructors on this course that they were teaching us instructors, and saying, well, what about this? And the guy's like, oh, I hadn't heard much about that. It's like yeah, there's good things, but there can be bad things, and I don't know. I've tried so many different things and done quite a few different things so far. I'm not done yet, thank you very much. But what I've noticed is there is nothing that you can learn that you will not put to use at some point later. Like, if you have an interest in something, it doesn't matter how seemingly, well, what the good is that? It's like, no, learn. Like, go for it, learn it. You will use it. Like, I made costumes for a while, so yeah, I can sew up clothes if I need to. Brewing. Well, guess what? Depending on what happens in the world at large, I can brew, and it's like, that's not as in, oh great, I can get people hammered wherever I go. It's, if something really bad happens and you need a safe supply of water, I have the knowledge. I can turn things into alcoholic beverages, and the alcohol kills bacteria. So you can have safe water, and it doesn't need a huge percentage of alcohol. But we can do that. Yep, understanding 2D shapes going to 3D shapes, really important, especially with all the computer-aided design now. Of course, now we've got the software to the point where you give it a rough idea and it will build it for you. But you still have to have the idea. And that's where I think people are getting too afraid of AI. AI is a sampling thing. It doesn't come up with new things. It puts together bits and pieces of what it's been able to sample. People are different than that. We can come up with something that isn't sampled. And a lot of people don't necessarily believe that, because they're like, well, you can only go on what you've learned. It's like, no, a computer can only go on what it's learned. We have so much randomness in our wiring. We can come up with stuff that you couldn't come up with, like, that machines just can't come up with. Generative AI image generators have actually been proven to be less unique and unable to innovate. Exactly. But they have the appearance of innovation. And they do, because it's like, oh, wow, well, why would it put 7 fingers on that guy's hand? It's like, because it doesn't realize that that's not something you should do. So it looks like it's innovating, but is it really? No, not really. And that's good to know. And to understand that, yeah, as a human being, you have far greater capacity than even the best AIs out there to take on the randomness of the planet. Now, I've heard that they've developed AIs for, let's say, aircraft combat, that even well-trained individuals in simulations go up against, and 10 out of 10 times they get taken out. So, advantage, disadvantage to that besides what pilots go in it? Sorry, off topic. No. It just seems that you can change the nations of some planes. You can? I've never tried that. Oh, you can't change the nations of some, but what they do is they have like, let's go over here. I haven't tried changing the nations, but I do know like for the Chinese planes here, well, not that one. Let's go tech tree in China. You have some of the, like you got the Tomahawk, you got the Hawk, the P-51K, the Mosquito, and the IL-10, right? They'll all have Chinese markings. You can change your, oh, okay. Maybe it's just premium planes. Okay, yeah, that might be. I haven't bought a lot of premium planes. I'll be quite honest. I've won a few, and I guess they would allow you to change it to other nationalities that actually used it. I'm not sure where you would find that option. I'm pretty sure that one isn't. But so many, most were won. Yeah, that's good. I like them when they're doing that, and they let you win the aircraft, because the stuff in the store is like, well, like the Moonbat came out. It was you could win it through an event, and now they've got it for sale. It's $100, like $100 US. So for up here, that's like $130. It's like, what? Oh man, that's not happening. I mean, like I said, I've been buying the odd thing now from the store, because it's like, you know what? I am using this as entertainment. I am willing to put some money. Like if I go to a movie, it's going to cost me $20. So, you know what? Am I getting as much value entertainment wise out of this as a movie? Yeah. So every now and then, yeah, I'll buy something for $20. Usually it'll be like certificates to help me progress through to get a better aircraft or something. But to turn around and just, buy victory, it's like, eh. I mean, some people, that's what they do. And they're like, no, this is my entertainment budget. I'm willing to do this. And so a new package comes out, and then you see the guy out there with it all totally maxed out. And it's like, okay, I'm glad for you. That's awesome. Most is $200. Yeah, I mean, I've spent that much on all the different games because I'll wait till they're on sale and stuff through Steam, and I'll pick them up. I have other people in my household who are really into Lord of the Rings Online, and they've got their monthly prescription, and it's more their social community. So it's like, you know what? Yeah, you can keep your premium account and run around and play and have fun and do the music and chat with everybody, and that's not unreasonable. I've never bothered to go into Fallout 76 because it's like, I've heard the gameplay isn't very good, and their business model is it will make you pay for everything, including the game. It's like, no. At least Lord of the Rings Online, it's free to download, and you don't have to get a premium account. You can run around and do the whole game for free. And they like that because it's more fun with more people. Same with this one, right? Free to download, free to play. If you want certain specific things, yes, you can spend the money. You're absolutely allowed to do that. And that's fine. But they're not going to penalize you if you don't have the money. And heard that it messed up on launch because there wasn't anything to do but fight with other players. Which one? Oh, 76? Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the what is that? The other flying game. But it's not just flying. War or something. Like, why is it every time I go to reach for a name in my memory, it disappears? Urf. Anyway, yeah, it's like that. You only fight other players. Yeah, Lord of the Rings Online is you're not fighting other players. They do have a piece of the game where you can go in and you can play a monster, like you can play an orc or play the bad guys, And then in a specific arena for everyone who wants to play that way, you go in there and you can fight each other. I haven't tried that yet. There's Rust where you fight other players, and it's kind of like Minecraft on steroids, where you're fighting other players and the environment, and you can shoot other players and take their stuff and stuff like that. And of course, you get guys who camp out by the beach where everyone spawns and just shoot all the newbies, just cause. And you get guys who get the cheat codes and go in. There's a YouTuber who's actually an admin for that game, who goes around finding people who are finding cheaters, and then he adjusts their settings on them. So like he has a setting where if you dig up a cache and open it, it blows up. So he'll set that on them and sit there and go, okay, let's see how long it takes for him to figure it out. Because he can tell if they're cheating. He's watching them, and it's like, look, he just floated up and went over that guy's wall. Like, no, he's running cheats. Or it's like, okay, I've been told this guy's cheating. Now I can see him, but he can't see me yet. So I'm going to come over here, and there's no way he could know I'm here unless he has some cheats running. And if he starts acting like he knows I'm here, then I know he's got a cheat code going. Oh yeah, and then he'll take them, he'll grab them, and he'll transport them to some like way far off corner of the world, and have a little chat with them, and go like, no, you've been using cheats, and I know you've been using cheats, and so I'm banning your account. Okay, and yeah, that's not how we play. And somehow he's like, yeah, I banned this guy, a whole bunch of times. It's like, well, if you banned his account, then it's gone. Like, how do you come back in and play when you're banned? But yeah, some of them are pretty funny, because then he'll go back to wherever the guy's base was, and he'll be like, he'll run around if there's anyone in the area. It's like, hey, I'm about to disassemble this guy's base. You guys can come and loot it. And then he'll go and he'll smash the whole thing apart. And the guys are like, thanks, man. It was just hilarious. It's like I've never quite understood why you would do cheats like that. Like apparently guys do that in this game too. Like, why would you do that? I mean, when you have stupid amounts of money in things like Fortnite, yeah, I can see you've now created a market for cheaters. But stuff like this, like what? Like, no, this is meant to be fun. Like, even I'm streaming it so you guys can hear my dumb comments and things. But this isn't a stream of income. This isn't like I get all these pop-ups that are like, oh, get more viewers over here. It's like, no, I would rather have huge numbers of people, if they do see me playing, go, hey, that looks like it could be a fun game, and then go play. Like, don't live vicariously through other people's videos. Like, go meet them in game. Fill each other full of lead. Have fun. I mean, in game. Let's be reasonable here. Yeah, buying viewers isn't a thing. They'd all be bots. Yep. Yeah, and it's funny because it pops up, oh, first time chat. And it's like, I've never heard of you. Hey, I really like your stream. No, you don't, because you've never watched it. It's compared to other people's, it's boring as watching paint dry. Like, it's me yakking away or flying around and getting shot down and slamming into mountainsides but yeah, it's sad that way. I mean, yeah, I did my whole YouTube channel, or not the whole YouTube channel, but for a while doing the things with the stuff was just to try and give me some motivation to try and clean up all of this crud I've accumulated, like do something with it instead of just hoarding things. And that worked for a while, but then other hardware issues, because my aging hardware is having fun, and my phone bricked, and so I lost the recordings I had and all that, and I haven't got back into it. Someone uses your streams to sleep too. You know what? That's awesome. Someone found a useful thing to do with technology. Beautiful. And yeah, that's the trick. There is an audience for everything.
Attention. You are entering the combat
All right.
zone. Get ready for battle. Good luck.
Because yeah, I would like to get back into getting rid of my crud. Like, take the servers, get them running, get them loaded up, get them stable. Find someone, like a business or something, who wants a computer network, but they have no resources, and go, hey, here you go. Maybe even give it away. Or actually, my thought had been get some of them set up as multimedia servers and then give them away to neighbors. Like, hey, here's a computer loaded up with movies and games and stuff for your kids, and we can get it set up in your basement, and now you can play games with your kids. You can stream this whole thing of movies. I mean, is it technically?
Stay alert, pilots. Large enemy force spotted over the airfield.
Oof. Whisper 2020. Yeah, ramming a P-61 wasn't a good plan. Oh well. It's like, you destroyed me. Yeah, but I broke your toe. Ha! Don't you come around again or I'll break the other one. Fine. Because yeah, I can pick up used hard drives at the surplus place too. A lot of companies now, though, unfortunately, have this idea that, well, the only way to be truly secure is to put them through a grinder. It's like, stop that. They have this belief that no matter what you do, they can recover the data. And it's like, no, there are ways of doing it so that the data is non-recoverable. But you run it through a grinder, and now there's no used hard drive. Which is too bad, because memory has gotten so insanely cheap here. Too far away. Who's coming up on my backside? You are. Come on. Get out of range. Nope. Oh, Whisper, you're back. Oh, you fixed your toe. Dang it. Yeah, but I know I've seen places advertising, oh, keep your data very secure, and they sell mini, like those big grinders that the guys have videos of them dropping cars into and stuff, and it just mulches everything. They have sitting up high. It's a bomber. They have them just for hard drives. I'm just like, what? Oh, gotcha. Now, where is you? You are an attack aircraft down low. Okay, you're causing us trouble. Stefan, you are being a naughty boy. Now, which way are you turning? Oh, you're not. Good. Good. You got him? Oh. Guys. Oh, what was it? I saw pictures of gun tests that they did with the 30mm cannons, like what supposedly are mounted on this aircraft, where they shot, it was a ground test, they shot a tail of a Bollenbroke or something, just to see what sort of damage it did, and one hit, like, ripped the tail apart. Oh, come on. I'm not that bad of a shot. So yeah, these did massive damage. And there is one aircraft here that does do massive damage, which I managed to pick up. If any regular suburbanite has anything worth trying to steal that Facebook hasn't already taken. Well, it hasn't been given. Because when we agree to stuff with Facebook, we agree to them taking our data. I think I need to catch up with Whisper here. Oh, I am within range.
Receiving reports about a rapidly deteriorating weather condition. Support will be unable to reach you. Do you read me? Over.
Woo! Oh yeah, that's it, the Yak-9U. It's got a massive cannon in it. If they hit you with it, it takes you out. Boom, done. Let's see if I can get in here before they take out. Oh.
There you go. Victory is close.
Woo.
That's it. There's no way to break through now.
Okay.
You're on your own.
Oh yeah, you're way too maneuverable for me. Get out of here. I damaged you enough. You, good, someone else got it, yeah. Come on.
I'm proud of you, pilots.
Yay, we won. But I'm only number 3. That's okay. Good game. Woo. Yeah, first time I ever shot down the ME329. Really? By the way, people are doing a Meta company blackout this week. Oh. Meta has always been bad words. Like, come on. I actually don't like calling it Meta because there was another company that had that name. And they simply said, well, this is our name. You can't just take my name. And he sort of went, well, because I have the money, I am. I'm just taking it. So it's like, come on. One what? AA guns? Oh, because this is a tier 8 and I took out one, so I could actually progress it. Ah! Oh, okay, I got 5 aerial targets. They were all enemy aircraft. And I was wiped out 3 times. Yeah, the Yak and Whisper 2020. Let's see. Oh yeah, he was out seal clubbing. Nice. I got him once. Only once. Interesting. That means that last time, maybe, I didn't actually hit him. Or I didn't do the majority of the damage. That's okay. Ta-da! Victory! Nice. Alright. Well, my timer thing's all timed out, so, oh man, I've been on here for over 2 hours. Yeah, well, the thing is, all these hyper-billionaires, multi-billionaires, they're just people, right? And they have egos and issues. And as the one video I watched from this one physics lady, she's like, why is everyone talking to these guys as if they know about science and physics? They don't. She was also the one that did the review of When Atlas Shrugged, because she read it, and but she hadn't researched anything about it ahead of time, and she read it as satire, and she thought, this is gold, this is incredible, and she thought it was really good. She found out after the fact that it wasn't written as satire, but that the author actually believed the ideas that were proposed in the book, which I thought was hilarious, because I've seen a lot of guys who you would say lean far to the right who quote that book and is like, oh yeah, that's the sort of thing we should have, you know, that would be good, it's all a meritocracy. And it's like, no, the way it's proposed in the book, and she thought it was a written tongue-in-cheek, because in the book, all the billionaires pull out of society and go to this little remote valley where they just look after themselves. And in the book, society basically collapses because these billionaires aren't there to guide things. I unsuccessfully Q-sniped you. Oh, that's okay. I tried though. I was trying to get into a match with you. Oh, not to hunt you down. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, no, that's okay. I was wondering if you were going to be on. I was like, there's probably not much chance of just bumping into him, but that's okay. I know I will eventually. Yeah, I spend more energy on my opinion of these rich a-holes if I could actually do anything about their actions. No, yeah, they suck and move on, and that's probably the best way to look at it. I mean, and that's, like I said, that's what this chick was thinking. She's like, yeah, in reality, if all the billionaires went and made their own little island to live on, unless they enslaved people to do their bidding, they're not going to last like a year, because billionaires don't build railways. Workers build railways, right? And billionaires, don't farm food. Farmers farm food. And in the book, it's as if, well, the billionaires, they're the ones who know how to do everything. It's like, no, they don't know how to do anything. Like the movie Don't Look Up. I think I've seen some trailers for that. There, I've added you to my contacts. Ta-da! So yeah, if we can bump into each other on purpose then. Elon's company straight up has departments dedicated to tricking him into making smart business choices. Well, yeah. Twitter couldn't, though. He walked in and basically said, you're all fired. And they went, okay, grabbed their stuff and left. And then the smart people were like, what? Wait, no. Oh, can you get him to come back? No, you couldn't. But, he has the margins. He can do things like that, and it's not going to ruin him. It might ruin the company he grabs, but it won't ruin him. But he's not a physicist. He's not a scientist. He didn't come from the ground up either. He started as a rich kid. people handed him huge volumes of money and said, oh, see what you can do with this. And above a certain limit, yeah. I mean, look at the current, president. He didn't start, he wasn't a businessman that built things from the ground up. He came from a very wealthy family. And if you look at his actual business practices, they're horrible. But he has the money to market himself as a successful businessman, just like Elon does. And paying people to come up with smart ideas? Absolutely. I think he should pay them all way more. And pay them pay them double whatever the going rate for salary would be. That would be awesome. That would restart the economies. Oh yeah, he can afford it. Absolutely, he could afford it. All of them could afford it. Like, they could be paying for free healthcare for all of their workers, and good healthcare, like 100% coverage for drugs and anything you need, and sick time off allowances and all that kind of stuff. They could have it, and he would still be a billionaire, a multi-billionaire. But suddenly you would have a large part of the workforce who could breathe a little easier. The idea that, well, they've got to stay hungry so that they produce well, it's like, no. Like, some of the greatest things that were developed, well, certainly in the arts and stuff, happened when rich people turned to, like, authors and said, you know what? I'm going to be your patron. I'm going to pay for you for whatever you need to live for the next couple of years, and you show me what you can put out. And then some great works were produced. Like, because that's what's in us. I mean, the assumption that people are only out to do as little as they can to get as much as they can is false. Psychologically, we know it's false. They've tested it, and it's like, no, that's not how people are. But that's how that's how certain people view everybody. But because you believe that's true doesn't make it true. Yeah. So to sit there and go and be wringing our hands in all of our G7 nations going, oh, we're all broke. It's like, who do you actually owe this money to again? And you print all of this currency and it gets sucked up into these big pools and not circulate because the rich don't want to lose their riches. But it's not their riches. The actual value from that is put in by everybody who's out there working. That's where the value is. And, like I go on ad nauseum about, right from Adam Smith's book about how the system's supposed to work, labor is the superior to capital. Because that's what produces everything. Ever talk to people who went on really long vacations? They got bored of laying around in like 2 days and need to go do something, do anything. Oh, exactly. Like, I think I would like to, get set up on a sailboat with, really good GPS mapping systems and everything like that, and then go sail around and just map shorelines or map islands, like do actual GPS engineering quality surveys of different areas. Just because, look at some of these places. Well, like in the Pacific, a lot of the islands, we're going to be losing them. They're going to be going underwater. Have we bothered to map them? No, in most cases. It's like, well, what's the value in that? Well, the value is in learning. Like, come on. And we've got, archaeologists who have looked back and said, well, you know what? We think we have an idea of why the ocean's levels rose like 200 meters in this one time in history. But the only way to really test it would be to do very extreme mapping underwater, offshore of North America and all the other continents. Because we sit there and say, oh, well, we have this idea of how humans progressed across the planet and all that. And yet, coastal BC, they dug down and found 12,000-year-old settlements. It's like, oh, like that shouldn't be there. It's like, no, by your current model, they shouldn't, but they are. So that means, because science is a certain way, that means that your theory is wrong. Yeah, there's the tally marks. Woo! And because their thinking was like, well, there was an ice age, and we know there was another impact, a large meteoric impact. We can't find the crater for it. And the one geologist was like, well, in that time period, if it hit the North American ice block, because it was during the ice age, the energy of it would have created a huge volume of fresh water, because all that energy would have gone into melting the ice. And then that would have rapidly raised sea levels once it reached the oceans. And there wouldn't be an impact crater. And so it fit checked all the boxes, but it's like, in that case, if there were, and because across the planet they have found different stories and that they feel are about an ancient sea people who came around and gave them information. They're like, well, what if the society on the planet had developed to a certain stage, and then this cataclysmic event happened, wiped out most of the main cities because they're mostly on coastlines, and then some of the survivors went around trying to rebuild society. It's like, huh, well, that might work. I need to get lower. So yeah, caveman invented animation. Yep, I could see that, and the airbrush. And cavemen, really? Were they cavemen? They keep finding fossils that contradict their ideas, and then they're not even fossils sometimes. And they're like, wait, what? No, that's not how that works. It's like, you can argue with theories. It's really hard to argue with data. I need more beef. Don't know if that got it, but that's okay. I got one left. Ha, okay. Let's get out of here. Out of here before we get shot down. Too late. Ah, Dominic. Good shot, good shot. Is that Italian on the way? Oh, well. That will make it easier. No, I need to go behind me. Oh, I'm only halfway there. Flying right into the fighters. You're ignoring me? Good. You ignore me. You do that. You ignore me to pieces. Yeah. There we go. Ah, I missed. Okay. Come on, get on target. Gotcha. I think. Oh, yeah, I missed you. Not this time. Now I gotta get out of here.
Air supremacy achieved.
Well, this is tough. Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting because it's so far in the past that we can't really know. We can find scraps of tools and things like that, but we don't really have a way of knowing. So, the mystery of ancient history. Well, everyone's like, oh, ancient aliens. It's like, maybe it's just ancient people. Like, never mind aliens. Do we think that we have a wrap on everything that is? Like, of course we don't. Okay, let's get down. Let's get down to business. That should take care of most of the anti-aircraft. And I did. Oh, I missed you.
Victory is in sight. Keep it up.
Oh, I missed you too. How did I miss you?
Stay alert, pilots. Large enemy force spotted over the airfield.
No doubt. Okay. I need more bombs.
Hang in there. You'll soon be cut off from support. I say again, support will not be available.
Ah, well, we might win before I have a chance to reload my bombs. Whee! Not that's impossible. Ancient aliens is a fictional trope. Yes.
We've lost the
Not that it's
flag.
impossible, but
Try to
jumping to that
reclaim it as
conclusion,
soon
it's
as
rather
possible.
boring. Well, when you get a good tool, it's a good tool. Are you coming for me? No, you're coming for him.
There's no way to break through for you now. You're on your own.
Ah. Do I want to be a Rammy Sammy?
I'm proud
Nope.
of you, pilots.
There we
Head
go.
back home.
Yay. Good game. Woohoo. All right. I have been here enough. I think I need to go take a bio break and maybe cook some food. Oh, and I look over and go reheat my tea. Oof. So, yes, maybe I'll come back later on and play, but we'll see. It's been nice chatting. That's been awesome. Um, Pretty sure people will look at the YouTube posting and go, 2.5 hours? Oh, I'm not going in for that. And that's okay. Assistance in destroying 4. 13. Yeah, slowly but surely I'll get that achievement. Da, da, da. Yes. Yeah, Mark had to go earlier. Oh, no doubt. I missed that. Oof. And that's okay. We'll be around. We'll bump into each other again. I'll check out his videos when he posts them and all that kind of stuff. So it's all good. But yes, I have to go. Which has over, I know YouTuber that uploaded a 7-hour video, over 1 million views. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm not that popular. Length isn't an issue. Viewers know how to pace themselves. Yeah. All right. Well, you have a good rest of your day. Maybe we'll see you on Discord or something. And I will go do other things. Yeah. Go have fun. And I will do the same. So we shall talk to you later. It has been nice. We'll try and avoid more politics maybe next time, I guess. Yeah. I mean, bumping into it every now and then, that's okay, but yeah. Talk to you later. Bye-bye for now.